I am on track to save $700 in 1 month, literally by just cutting unnecessary spending. So I had to stop being silly and get savvy about my finances.
Sometimes it works out and sometimes it don't. Sometimes you win some.
Hey y'all, welcome back to the channel. I know a lot of us have some financial goals for the new year, so I hope this video is really helpful for you to set up some new ideas to help you stay on track with your spending habits, as we're going to get into 5 different habits of financially savvy women so that we can all level up our finance game. The first habit is financially savvy women begin with the end in mind. So instead of thinking of what they want right away, they think about what they want their life to look like overall. And they also think about the type of life they want for themselves in the future, typically a life of ease or a softer life where they don't have to focus on working so much. So ask yourself this question: what will my dreams, my goals, and my desires cost me? And is it worth me making some adjustments and giving up a few things now in order to have the life that I want later on? And of course, along with that, when you're planning with the end in mind, you have to think about the realistic trajectory of your finances. If you're someone who's saying, okay, this is the type of life that I want to live, I want to retire by a certain age, then what are you doing now to make that a reality for yourself? That was definitely an area for me where I noticed I needed to make a change and I had to increase my income. So I went to college initially to become a teacher, which is great. It's very fulfilling, but at the same time, it is not exactly the most high paying job. And I knew that I didn't want to work past 55. Honestly, that number is getting lower. Now we're looking at 45, 50, but working in the school system as a teacher was not going to be able to afford me the type of life that I wanted for myself and create opportunities for me to have enough money to retire at the age that I wanted to. So I had to make a shift. So then with planning ahead, I was able to go back to school and got my master's degree in educational business administration, which opened up a world of opportunities for me. I focused on educational entrepreneurship and went into coaching. And since then I have not looked back. I also do real estate. So I shifted to things that were increasing my income in a shorter amount of time and helping me build toward my future. And that's kind of what got me to where I'm at now, doing my no spend month for the month of January. I realized I was spending a lot of unnecessary money. So I had to make some cuts in my budget, especially with things like going out to eat with friends for brunch, lunch, happy hour. Like I was your girl, I was there for all of it. But I realized if I want to build a sustainable life for myself, if I want to have my first investment property this year, sometimes I can't go to lunch, sometimes I can't go to happy hour, and that's okay. I'm willing to give up those things now to save and build for the life that I want for myself and hopefully the very near future. The second thing that financially savvy women do is they create a plan to earn money and they create a plan to budget their money. You need both. So now that you know the type of life that you want to live, you have to budget for it. I am not saying don't have any fun. Like I definitely think it's all about balance, but what are the things that you can cut that you really don't need? For me, that was overspending on things like clothing. I love to get my hair done, y'all, but I had to cut back and say, okay, you know what, Amber, sometimes you can do your own hair and that is completely okay. And so I made a few tweaks in my budget. If it was like, okay, I can't get my hair done every week, maybe I can get my hair done once a month. You can save so much money by just cutting out a few little things at a time from your budget and making your money work for you. Now, along with that, you have to figure out how much you need to be earning in order to hit your financial goals. So, for example, this year I am hoping that I can buy my dream car in cash. Obviously, if it's a dream car, it doesn't have a low price tag. And so I've realized, okay, this is how much I need to earn in order to make that a reality for myself. And then with that, what am I going to do? So one of the things I'm doing is like all of the income that I get from real estate and from coaching, I am putting that into a high yield savings account. I'm thinking about using SoFi. If you know any other banks that have great high yield savings account, please drop them in the comment section down below. But basically my money is going to work for me and it's going to grow a lot faster. So that'll help me get to my goal by the timeline that I set out for myself, and I can actually achieve it in a very reasonable way. Either way, with earning more or creating a budget that works for you, you have to have a plan of action in place. And one of the best things that has helped me with budgeting and seeing exactly where my money is going is doing a zero-based budget method. I've talked about this so much in other videos and a lot of my short form content as well. But basically the goal is whatever money that you have coming in and the money that you have going out, they need to equal zero. So you can basically break even every month or every 2 weeks, however often you look at your budget sheet. But of course, ideally, you have a surplus every single time, and all of that surplus goes straight to savings. So you don't have to wonder, like, how much can I put in savings? How much can I afford? It's very clear, cut and dry. Like, this is what you need to earn. This is what you can spend to be able to have a break-even month. And then from there, your excess goes straight to savings, hopefully a high yield savings account, and it continues to grow on its own. The third habit of financially savvy women, which is probably the hardest one, especially for me, is learning how to say no or learning when to say no. I have realized that sometimes I just need to bring myself inside and sit down. Sit down, stay inside, read a book. It's free. Like, there are so many free hobbies. I think I'm actually gonna make a video about that coming up in the next month or so. So if you're interested in that video, let me know in the comment section down below and I'll compile a list of hobbies that you can do free or very budget friendly and affordable. But basically, like, being outside, I did not realize how much I was spending. So like, we'll go out, get an appetizer, get a drink, have a meal, and then maybe finish with a glass of wine. Before you know it, you have easily spent $100. And if you continue to do that regularly, you're not going to be able to hit your goals. So learning to say no is a huge piece of the puzzle. Remember, you created a budget, you created a plan, now you just have to stick to it. Basically, just ask yourself, is this going to support my goals? Is this going to help me become the best version of myself? Is this going to be able to support the highest version of myself or who I want to be at a certain point in my life? Is it going to help me to reach the goals that I put on my vision board and the plans that I set out for myself financially? If that's not the case, then sometimes you just can't do it. So whether that's going on trips with the girls or even trips with the family, or maybe even buying additional experiences. Like, I think if you're going to spend money on something, an experience is totally worth it, but do you have to experience everything, or can you pick and choose and make sure that whatever you are doing is in alignment with your health, your wellness, or whatever goals you have for yourself, so you're not just saying yes to everything, spreading yourself too thin, which is also going to be spreading your income too thin. You have to let go of the fear of missing out. Honestly, I have enjoyed so much spending time with myself, getting to learn about myself and know myself a lot better. My husband and I are both on this financial journey together, and so we've been able to have a great time getting creative and cooking at home or having date nights at home, and it has been so great. While yes, we do still go out, we still enjoy, we are a lot more cognizant of how often we're going out, what we're spending, and where we're spending it, because we have some big goals and we are hoping to reach them in the very near future. The fourth thing that financially savvy women do, which is my personal favorite, is work smarter, not harder. You do not want to burn yourself out constantly working all the time to where then you don't have moments to enjoy life, even if it's those moments, quiet moments inside. You're not gonna have time for them because you're so stressed and you're always working. So you have to figure out how to make your money work for you. I can guarantee you that you have skills, you have passions, you have talents that are going to be able to be a great source of passive income for you. I love to talk, I love to chit chat. I am literally a yapper. So where am I at? I'm on YouTube yapping, because now I can get that Google AdSense money and it helps me have passive income that supports my financial goals. Of course, it does not always have to be YouTube or content creation, but think about a skill that you have that can be helpful to other people and figure out how you can monetize that. How can you turn your skill into something that is going to help others, but at the same time help you reach your financial goals? You've got to learn how to leverage your time and how to leverage your skill set. Another great thing to consider too is how to keep past skills fresh. So like I mentioned, I used to be a teacher. I don't plan to ever go back to teaching or go back to the classroom, but at the same time, I spent a lot of time and I dedicated 10 years of my life and professional development and all that kind of stuff to teaching. So I like to keep those skills fresh. I like to keep my continuing education hours, because you just never know. Having a job is better than having no job. So I keep all those things fresh, but at the same time, every now and then I'll pop out and do like some type of tutoring or some type of career support for high school students, just to keep my skills moving in that area, keep my resume up to date, and stay connected to the education world if I ever needed to return back to that full time. But again, that's a great way for me to make additional income. While it's not passive, it does actually take work on my part. It can be a contract role, it can be very temporary. I can do it a couple of hours a week, but I'm still staying connected to that world just in case I ever need to go back. And I'm still increasing my income, which basically I try to take all that extra and put it towards savings to make sure that I'm building for the future. So what can you do? If you have any ideas, definitely drop them down in the comment section down below as well. I have heard some great things about being a virtual assistant. There are a lot of virtual assistant firms and companies you can work for. So I definitely say look into that, especially if you do have a bit of extra time. It won't necessarily be passive income, but it's a skill set that people need. You're helping someone and you're able to use the skills that you already have and just take it to another lane. And habit number 5 of financially savvy women is that they live below their means. Obviously, I realize that if I can save $700 in a month, I can go buy my dream car tomorrow. But would that be the smartest choice? Would that be a choice that is going to help me reach my financial goals? Probably not. So even though it's something you can afford, it doesn't mean it's something that you have to have. So no matter how much you earn, always strive to live below your means. We can get into this habit of saying, okay, well now I'm making more, so I'm going to be spending more. And that becomes a pattern that's not supporting our financial growth. Just because you make more doesn't mean you need to be spending it. And I've had to kind of like readjust my thinking on that matter. Like I love a purse, I love a bag. Like that's my guilty pleasure with shopping for sure. But I've realized that I would love to have a Chanel bag. It's been on my vision board for the past 3 years. And do I have it? No. But all the purses I bought over the past 3 years, if I didn't buy those, could I have it? Yeah, I probably could have had a couple of them. And so you just have to realize where you're willing to give and take. Just because something is accessible to you, it's like, oh, this bag isn't that much. If you get multiple of those bags, it starts to add up and it's not benefiting you or helping you hit the goals that you have for yourself in the long run. So think about the money that you're earning in a bit of a different way. Wouldn't it be nice to set money aside for a rainy day? And now that I'm in real estate, like I'm helping people figure out how much you need to save for down payments and things like that. Wouldn't it be nice if you already had your down payment saved when you were ready to purchase your first home? Those things that seem like they can be down the line can be so much closer than you think if you really focus on how you're spending and allocating your money. And also things just come up, especially with the car conversation. My car has been paid off for about a year now, and I just went and paid a lovely hefty price to get some repairs done. But because I had a sinking fund for my car, for car repairs, it didn't sting as badly because I was prepared ahead of time and I didn't have to pull it from a different account or from savings or from vacation or from regular living expenses because it was something that I prepared for. So even though it's not super exciting to save for that kind of stuff right away, I promise you it will benefit you in the long run. So now I can still go on a nice, great vacation in a couple of months and I don't have to worry because I had this unexpected expense come up. So basically, make your time, make your money, and everything work for you to build the life that you want and the life that you deserve. Thank you all so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed these tips. Definitely share your financial tips in the comments down below. Let us know how things are going. If you are interested in my series for my no spend month, you can pop on over to TikTok if it's still around. I don't know, y'all, I'm filming this earlier in the month. Who knows if it'll still be here at the end of the month. But I'm also sharing the same information on YouTube Shorts, so go check those out and follow me on Instagram. Thanks again for watching this video. Let's all be financially savvy for this year and for many years to come.